All right, guys, we're outside, and it's time to spank on some dummies. Now, before doing that, though, the thing that goes with the rotation is obviously abilities. So let's go over those quickly. You have Concussion Blow, which stuns the opponent for 5 seconds and deals damage based on attack power. We have Devastate, which sunders the target's armor, causing the Sunder Armor effect. In addition, causes 173% of weapon damage. So basically, you can stack this up to 3 times. It's an ability that does damage and does Sunder Armor, so that's huge. You don't have to use the Sunder Armor ability by itself. Intervene is a great ability. You can run at high speed towards your party or raid member, basically save their ass. You intercept the next melee or ranged attack made against that person, and it reduces their threat by 10%. So if you got a guy that pulls, a boss or a mob off of you or the off tank, you can intervene, run over there, save their ass, and reduce their total threat by 10%. It's a great ability to have. Last Stand, this is one of your cooldowns that you're going to burn throughout the fight. It's got a 3-minute cooldown, but it temporarily grants you 30% of your maximum health for 20 seconds. After the effect expires, the health is lost. So this is great to have transitioning through different phases of a boss, or if the group's about to go down. You can pop this and allow the healers to concentrate on other people. You can use this, maybe your off or main tank goes down and you're the off or main tank, and they're trying to get a battle res off to get them back up. It's definitely a group saver, if you will, but you want to make sure that your healers are aware that this ability, it grants you that 30% health, but after it expires, the health is dropping down, so you're going to lose that chunk. Next we have Revenge, which instantly counterattack an enemy for 6,900 damage. Revenge is only usable after successful block, dodge, or parry. So if you're not getting attacked, you're not going to be able to use this ability, because you have to be able to block, dodge, or parry for this to become active. So, sometimes, if you're on a boss that, if you're the off tank, for instance, and the main tank has it, and you're just every once in a while taunting to get rid of that double attack or whatever, you're not really going to have this in your rotation, but you'll use it when it's available. Next we have Shield Block, and this increases your chance to block by 25% for 10 seconds. In addition, if your total chance to block or avoid an attack exceeds 100%, your chance to critically block is increased in the access. So this is definitely a good ability to have. Shield Slam, slam the target with your shield, causing damage based on attack power and dispelling 1 magic effect on the target. Now this is great. It's a shield slam with a built-in dispel, and I know warrior tanks are very rare, and when we were doing BWD and going against, I don't remember the boss's name, but he had that annoying self-heal that would come on, and for some reason no one was ever paying attention and dispelling it. Well, if you're the warrior tank, you don't have to worry about it. Drops shield slam on its ass, that 1 magic effect that's on the target is going to get dispelled. So very great ability to have, and something that none of the other tanks don't have, to my knowledge. So it definitely makes you a little more unique. Next we have Shield Wall, and this reduces all damage taken by 40% for 12 seconds. So this is a great cooldown to have once again, and pop in hand with Last Stand. You can pop in Last Stand, gives you that health bonus for 20 seconds, and then the Shield Wall is going to reduce damage taken for 40% for 12 seconds. So great for, once again, transitioning phases of bosses or pinch situations in a fight. On page 2 here we have Shockwave, which is an instant attack, and it sends a wave of force in front of you, causing damage based on attack power and stunning all enemy targets within 10 yards in a frontal cone for 4 seconds. That being said, this ability is great for AoE, and not only does it get attention of those mobs, but it throws a stun on them. So great ability to have. Spell Reflection. This basically raises your shield, reflecting the next spell cast on you. So great one to have if you got a spell coming your direction. Boom, shield reflects it the other way. Sunder Armor, you don't have to worry about this if you're using your Devastate properly. The Devastate ability is going to do this automatically, so don't even worry about having Sunder Armor on your bars. Taunt, obviously, this is a taunt. And then last but not least, Vigilance. And this focus your protective gaze on a party or raid member. Each time they're hit by an attack, your taunt cooldown's refreshed and you gain vengeance, as if 20% of the damage was done to you in this last 30 minutes. Basically what I do is I usually throw this on a melee player or DPS in general player that decides to cause a lot of threat in the beginning of the fights. And tanks, you know the type I'm talking about. So you fire this over on them, If for some reason they pull the boss or the mob you're fighting and it directs towards them, as soon as they get hit, it refreshes your taunt ability, click taunt, it's back on you, and the damage is directed to you. So, great ability to have. So now that we've gone over the abilities that are available for a warrior, we will basically next go into the rotation. Alright guys, spanking away on the dummies here. Now I can't show you the full rotation that I would like to show you because since the dummies don't attack back, there's nothing for me to parry or dodge or block, so I will not be able to use Revenge. But I will show you the rotation anyways. Basically, I'll explain it first. The single target threat priority is Shield Slam, Revenge, Rend, Devastate. So we'll start out here with a Shield Slam. Now I would hit Revenge next, but it's not available for me, so I'm going to go Rend, and then a Devastate. So once again, Shield Slam, Revenge, Rend, Devastate. Now, this is going to get you quite a bit of threat. Now, in the meantime, there's some other abilities that you can throw in the mix that are going to generate you even more threat. So you bust out your initial rotation, so Shield Slam, Revenge, Rend, then Devastate. You can even throw in a Heroic Throw early on, which is going to get you huge threat, as well as a Concussion Blow. So, you know, pretty much you just keep repeating this rotation, you know, throughout the fight. You should always be using Heroic Strike if the Rage allows for it. If you're not using it, you're an idiot. And what I mean by when Rage allows for it is basically when you're not going to be threatening a cooldown. So if you can use Heroic Strike without threatening your global cooldown, then use Heroic Strike. I think a lot of people forget about Heroic Strike, and it's a huge mistake because that's where a lot of your warrior damage is going to come from, as well as threat. That being said too, use Inner Rage. Inner Rage throughout a fight, it's going to basically continue to reset your Heroic Strike over and over and over. So make sure you're popping that and using those abilities. You know, and you can also throw in a shield block throughout your rotation, but just make sure you get these rotation down pat. When you have stuff on cooldown, use stuff that's not on cooldown. Make sure you're getting those Devastates up so you can get those 3 Sunder Armors on the target, and you should have no problems. So when everything else is on cooldown, feel free to throw in a shield block when available, as well as Heroic Strike whenever available, not threatening your global cooldown, and you will be okay. Now next, let's talk about the AoE threat priority. Coming in, you got a group of multiple mobs coming. Your rotation is going to be Thunderclap, Shockwave, Rend, Revenge. Now, some people say that you put Rend first with an opening, but to me, your opening, if you're trying to get a bunch of mobs to focus on you, your opening should be an AoE attack. So I go Thunderclap, Shockwave, Revenge, and then Rend. Once I have that, you know, I move over to Cleave, and I do that as many times as that's available. And pretty much rule of thumb there is same as with Heroic Strike on the single target DPS priority. When Thieve is not going to, I should say when Cleave is not going to threaten a global cooldown, use it A stat. So once again, I'm going to come in, Thunderclap, Shockwave, Revenge, which I can't use, and then Rend. Then I'm going to just cleave away, Thunderclap again, and you pretty much just keep doing this. You know, at that point, since Shockwave is on cooldown, I'm going to keep using Thunderclap and Cleave to hold that AoE rotation, and whenever Rend cools down off the main guy, I'm going to throw that back on there. And you can throw in other things to try and, you know, target that main one that you have going on, as long as you're, you know, allowing your cleaves to basically pop up as soon as they can. So I mean, you could be going through, you can throw, you know, a shield slam, you can throw a shield block, throw a devastate, whatever you need to do to get that on there. And that's pretty much the basis of the rotation. Some other helpful abilities when the AoE department is Challenging Shout, which basically everything within a certain amount of yards, which is usually anything where you're going to take on an AoE based group, immediately directs their attention towards you. So definitely something you want to use if you're having a hard time initially getting threat on the entire group. You know, you can fire that off and you're good to go. And that is it for the rotation. The next thing we're going to talk about is tips and tricks. Alright guys, first and foremost I want to say it was a lot of fun making this guide. And when I first started playing my warrior tank, I didn't know what to expect. As I was kind of bringing him up with less gear, trying to get him more geared, it was a semi-frustrating experience. A, because I was just learning things, and B, because I was getting my ass handed to me due to lack of gear. And all I can say for you people that are just starting out as a warrior, don't give up, because I will say that the warrior is the most fun tank that I've played out of the DK, the paladin, and the warrior. It's a blast. The rotation is fun. You have things that the other classes don't have, so there's not a lot of crossover or rinse and repeat stuff. And the rotation's a little more non-standard. There's a rotation you stick to, but there's other abilities that you can throw in that are dependent upon the situation that you're in. One thing that I will say, don't forget about your shouts. You have demoralizing shout, you've got challenging shout. Use these. Demoralizing shout, which I think is hugely overlooked. A lot of people don't use it. It's going to reduce damage taken. Challenging shout, like I said before, it rallies everything to attack you. You know, use these shouts. Be a good member of your group. Be a member of your group that contributes and knows its class. If you know your class, you can do a lot of defensive things for your group. You can reduce a lot of damage taken for yourself, which is going to help out your healers, and you're going to be able to increase a lot of threat, which is going to be able to make you hold bosses without problems, especially when you get those annoying DPSers that like to blow their cooldowns within the first 5 seconds of a fight. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, concerns, feel free to let me know. Post them in the comments or send me a PM. If there's something I didn't go over or something you would like to see me go over, I have no problem making another video that explains pertinent areas of the warrior tank class. So once again guys, as always, stay tuned. This was another guide brought to you by Machine. There will be many more to come. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. I'll talk to you all later. Machine out.